Hey everyone. I am just, for whatever reason, not tired and I'm restless. And, well, I am in some pain because of not wearing gloves when I should have been wearing gloves. But, anyways, that's beside the point. Of really what I want to talk about. And that is the overall allegations, or I should say assumptions, or the postulation of the just the overall continuous phrase of people are lazy, people don't want to work, people have lost their work ethic, and they're just a bunch of people now that want to stay home and play video games and gorge themselves with chips and dip and you know all the high fructose corn syrup sodas and stuff. Um, I This might sound very strange, um, because of course the culture is one and such that you know everyone was fat and happy. No, fat shaming by that. What I'm saying is people have been um, in the past, they've been content with uh, distractions. They do their job, they raise kids, and so little forms of entertainment here and there. That's been sufficient to keep the hamster on the wheel, so to speak. And the the distractions are kind of being put back where they came from now, though. Um, People are waking up. People, and the reason why I'm even talking about this is because I'm part of that uh, working class, that I do a job that I don't really care for. I got a boss that is, in his own way, is seeing um, the writing on the wall, but he's going at it in a different perspective. Um, he is taking on the most that he can because he's a business worker, and because um, he wants to make as much profit as he can, before everything goes to shit. So, but at the same time, for myself, and I'm sure it's this way for a lot of others. Uh, Boy, there's so much backstory to this. Um, but I kind of think of myself as a average Joe, you know. Uh, I I'm like other people that want to have a good time, be distracted, don't want to think about all the realities so much that, are occurring in the world. And yet, it's kind of paradoxical because, you know, I can't help but to um, hear them, see them, and so many other people are as well, of course. It's just becoming more and more apparent, um, and pervasive. So, uh, people with waking up, it lends to, hey, maybe I have to take some action, before I really get behind the curve and get swallowed up in the tsunami of, whatever is coming. And we know it's not good. So people are trying to get their houses in order, and they don't really. Their job sucks in the first place, I mean, it's like it just business owners see it from their perspective, and people who are higher up see it from their perspective. They have a tough time seeing it from the worker's perspective. And so they just, default to this, oh, people are just being lazy, people have been given so much, they just want to stay home and play video games, which is not at all the truth. People are waking up. People want to go get their food, get their items, get their ammunition, clean up their property, clean up the things that they've been putting off for so long. And yeah, I will go into a little bit of backstory with myself. In 2012, I went crazy, um, as far as with prepping, going out. I mean, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on food. Unfortunately, my mom's basement flooded, so most of that um, food was rendered uh, not edible because even though quite a bit of it um, hadn't actually touched the floor, with all the water on it, it still got damaged and it still got rusty, and I just didn't want to eat it. But fortunately, my mom got her basement all fixed and um, waterproofed, and has a a secondary sump pump that it's water driven, so that's cool. But anyways, I went nuts. I mean, I was going through over $2,000 worth of pennies, pulling out the 1982 and prior, because you can tell um, basically which penny is the newer one or the old, the 90% copper penny, or the, zinc with the copper facing or wrapping. Anyway, I I did so much. I mean, I even built a house, and I built a two-story house. Yet I was a bit so skittish about putting windows on the bottom, portion of it. I was just a mess. And I mean, I wanted more than anything to be distracted. Uh, and I was like, surely this is just gonna come to a head sometime soon, because it's just nuts. Anyways, 10 years later, uh, yeah, it's pretty much where I was back then, now. And back then, I was freaking out. I was drinking my ass off. Um, because you know what? That was my way of distractions. Because at that time, I mean, there was, but there wasn't a lot of awareness. I mean, people were just going about things, routine. If anyone listening to this has lived through it 10 years ago, I mean, I'm sure I'm not talking to 10-year-olds here. Um, of course, things were kind of, dicey a little bit, with, I mean, I'll say, Gaddafi getting murdered was just man, it was so terrible. I had to get out of the military like ASAP. Um, and then Sandy Hook. Well, maybe I shouldn't be saying that on here. Hook Sandy, whatever. They got bigger fish to fry than my channel. But anyway, so back to the real point here. Um, because I can't sleep at the moment. Because honestly, what I'm gonna maybe do tomorrow is just have a nice talk with my boss, let him know that um, that it's nothing personal, and yeah, I'll probably get chewed out for it. But I'm just gonna say, dock me, you know, 2 hour or $2 every hour in pay. My time getting my house in order is way more valuable than doing construction for a 70-year-old electrician. That's just, you know, and nothing against 70-year-old electricians, nothing against old people whatsoever, but they have their things in order. I mean, yeah, I'm painting with a broad brush here, but um, in any event, I have, even though I've done a lot of good for myself, I've got myself situated very nicely, as a matter of fact. There's still a weighing on me that I really have some buttons to button and some T's to cross and some I's to dot. So, with that being said, um, yeah, it's just clearing the air. And if you guys don't agree with it, then you don't agree with it. But logically, um, from my average Joe status of who I'm deeming myself as, I I believe that is what is happening. I believe that people are waking up. I mean, information is just, they said years past that information's coming out like a hydrant. Well, I mean, somebody has like a an accelerator attachment on that hydrant, and it's just coming out like all get out. I don't even know the word for it. It's tremendous, and I mean the signs are everywhere. Um, and I'll just add this: this past Memorial Day, I've been living here in this small town for over 10 years, and during that whole 10 years, and I'm sure way before that, gas was either pay at the pump or pay after you pump. Well, now it's pay at the pump, and that's it. And now, I mean, yeah, a lot of blame could be put on the accelerating gas prices, no doubt, no doubt. And a lot of it also could be placed on the down, staters um, that come up here on the weekends and just, basically, you know, drive it like you rented it, kind of thing. Drive us into the ground more like it. But uh, oh, I'm losing my train of thought. No, also the bank here in town randomly has now decided that instead of, you know, long-standing history of like forever my life, they've always had, an extra hour on Fridays so that people can cash their check after they get out of work at 5. Well, that is disappearing on the 7th of July. So, and there's no, due to such and such reasoning. There's nothing. It's just, nope, we're changing our hours. We're gonna drop an hour. Um, yeah, I think that's reason to kind of scratch the head a little bit. Yeah. Like, okay, hmm. And then just as an extra, DiGiorno pizza, everyone's grown up with that. And it's always been you pull it out of the little box and there's a vacuum sealed pizza. You could see all around the crust and then all the toppings are in the center. Well, I get a DiGiorno pizza today, no vacuum seal, and the cardboard that it typically sat on, well, it always sat on it. That wasn't there, and it was just it was just this bulbous bag, you know, scrunched into the box. I pull it out, it's like, some forensic, evidence bag, with the pizza in it. It was crazy. Like, there's just so many signs, and I am so put off by the assumptions that people don't want to work because they're lazy. That is propaganda. That is people not critically thinking. That is, um, oh man. That is boomerology. Yeah, I make myself laugh sometimes, but uh, it is purported by a lot of old people, I think. They because they don't really want to, get their hands dirty and well, I don't even know that it's possible. My aunt used to say a zebra doesn't lose her stripe or doesn't change their stripes. And while I believe that it is possible for an old dog to learn new tricks, and I mean no offense to this, and maybe I'm just going on too long, but really trying to hit home uh, the, I guess you could call it the assertion uh, that I believe is very false, that people are too lazy. Time will tell, you know. I'd like to see more evidence of it, but from all I hear, it's just, oh, well, Susie and Bill haven't come into work today. They must just be downstairs in their mom's basement playing video games. No, no, probably more like it. They are pulling out their, you know, little uh, accordion file keeper thing and going through their paperwork to see, what kinds of things they missed. Anyway, I'm talking too long. I wanted to keep it down to like 15 minutes, but so be it. I really appreciate you listening, and I hope this was informative and useful. And perhaps we'll have another one of these late night um, moments, I guess you could call it, again in the future. All right, thanks. Later.